season where I cannot hold back anymore. I need to let you know, shine the light on what is happening in the world and might be what's happening in your house. And what we're going to be talking about is this: the difference between ABA and natural language facilitation is in the results. So you're going to be able to identify, as a result of what I tell you on this video, what kind of results you're getting, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is the result progress from the angle of A, which is defining progress as created by control, exchange. If you do this, I'll give you this. ABA, which is all about what that is. Questioning, testing, prompting, and reinforcement, where the environment, this is the key, that talks about this level of progress that is achieved when the environment is controlled by the facilitator. So the issue here is, I'm just seeing there are comments. So what I want to do here is show you on this video, I've got 5 angles of documented progress that will be written on reports and show you what to do. 1 through 4 is. Number 5 is how you consider that. So let's get into them. Number 1, the progress here is that life gets easier, right? It gets easier in your life when you use these prompt-based strategies because the child stops resisting whatever you're wanting them to do, and they fall under the control of the structured environment and recommendations set up by accommodations set up by the facilitator to create a successful outcome. One of the families in my program just took her child on vacation to an indoor water park where there are many, many rules. She did not know all of the rules in this water park before she went. She did all of her research for everything she could, and over and over and over, because she was there and taking the complete responsibility for her situation, she had a lot of failures in that. She experienced a lot of struggle in her environment because she was controlling the whole thing. And while they got through the vacation a lot easier than maybe they would have if she hadn't done all this work to control the environment for her child, that's how they did their vacation. Okay, I'm just letting you know. That's one way to see progress, when you completely control and accommodate and facilitate the environment so your child goes along with it. He goes through the flow. He does what he needs to do. Stops resisting. You don't have resistant behavior, so your life feels easier, okay? This is one form of progress. It feels better. I know it feels better because this is what people comment on their videos. My child went through a whole vacation super easily, right? Okay, now let's look at number 2. Fewer unwanted communication behaviors. You don't have meltdowns as many anymore. The child is, because the child is kept focusing on their wants and needs as they are anticipated by the facilitator and offered as a reward for calm compliance, right? That's the whole deal. You don't get your reward unless you're calm and listening and give me eye contact and do what you do and all that stuff. So the kids learn, all right, I've got to be calm and compliant to get my reward. Because remember, they are focused on the reward. They're not focused on getting the job done. They're focused on the reward, and they're calmly sitting there compliant and do what you want them to do. So the data ticks up. All those ABA things, the programs get done, the kids start matching, the kids start doing all these things because they learn really quickly that if they don't sit and be calm, they can't get their reward. In fact, some people use escape from work as a reward, right? So the kid will work so that they can get a break, right? This is what happens here. All right, so now let's look at number 3, version of progress. Jobs get done more completely and accurately. They follow the thing. They meet the goals. They meet the programs according to the facilitator's expectations. We need them to do these things in this way, this quickly, this many times, blah, 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 because they are guiding every step of the action with a verbal or physical prompt. This kid is going to brush their teeth if I've got to hold their hand and make them do every single tooth. But again, they're calm and compliant because they know if they let you guide them, prompt them, take them through their job, they'll eventually get their reward. So they let you, they allow you to prompt and guide and move them and do them. What do they don't stop resisting that stuff? And because they allow you to basically puppet them through this activity, it gets done because they allow you to facilitate, to not facilitate, to do it with them, you guide it through them, somehow make them do it. They allow you to make them do things. They are compliant and obedient, okay? Now, number 4, what happens with these kids, the progress that you see and is documented by your ABA therapist, is that the kids they're talking. These kids are saying words. They imitate or produce speech or individual sounds eventually after you them enough and give them treats afterwards. They will start to imitate and produce speech or complete tasks even more quickly and on cue. Boom, buddy, boom, buddy, boom, buddy, boom. Oh man, he's worked through those programs, no problem at all. Does them super fast, right? But they can't do it independently. They can only do it. They can only say these words. They can only imitate these sounds when they are in this controlled environment. They can't do it on their own, either without someone else prompting or guiding them and do it, right? Because remember, they allow you to guide them through this, so they allow you to do it, and they will imitate and produce things for you because they want the reward, you guys. It's all about the reward with these things. Okay, number 5, the parents are exhausted quickly, right? This is what happens. You're exhausted super fast because you can't sustain the effort needed to keep control of every area of this child's life. Just like what happened to the mom who took her kid on vacation to the water park. There is no way, it is not sustainable for you to accommodate and control everything around you. The parents who are angry and exhausted because other people won't help their kid the way they help their kid, okay, that's the parents who fall into this category. Because you are responsible. You have taken and shouldered on the responsibility to prompt, guide, create, accommodate, make this kid get this outcome through your efforts, through yours. You controlled it and you did it. You made that kid do it. Congratulations. You made those results happen. If you're here, and I promise, if you're in that role, you are beat. You're exhausted. Your house is a mess. You can't keep up with everything because it's impossible to do everything yourself, right? That's why on this channel, you burn out or degrade your intervention or maybe just quit altogether, and just because you blame it on your kid. He's too broken. I can't make him do it anymore. I'm too exhausted. He's too whatever. It's just too much for us, right? Because it's not sustainable. That's why those ABA people have you keep coming back and add more hours. No, it's not sustainable in 3 hours a week. We've got to have 10 hours a week. It's not sustainable in 10 hours a week. We've got to add 20 hours a week because it's not sustainable. This prompt, controlled progress that you are paying money for and other people are justifying insurance payment, government payment through this progress that you see. Okay, so now let's move on and talk about progress B through the lens of creation, connecting with the late talker, and offering collaborative experiences that they're pre-organized, but they're not pre-planned. Every second of them's planned. You just know what you're doing and you're connected with the late talker and you solve all the problems. You do the planning, you do the setup, you do the activity, you do the cleanup, and you process what happened in the learning afterwards. You do all of that together with the late talker, with language facilitation, right? Collaborative experiences from got to end, with functional speech models that you're talking about the experience from beginning to end, with daily activities that you already do, you already have planned. You got to get up, you got to get dressed, you got to brush your teeth, you got to go to wherever you got to go, you got to clean your whatever you got to clean, you got to cook whatever you got to do all that stuff anyway, right? And this is how I teach parents to get progress. And this is the difference. So when people tell me that they're exhausted because they're working so hard on their language facilitation journey, there's something from that previous list that you are doing to exhaust yourself. Let's talk about the difference. Number one, life gets easier because the child is independent and trustworthy. After facilitators teach independence in functional skills in a cooperative manner. There is no hand over handing brushing teeth in language facilitation. We modeled these things side by side. In fact, in the next video, I'm not going to give you all the details here because this video would go on forever and ever. That's why tomorrow's episode is going to be all about the strategies you need to use to facilitate independent speech, right? But today we're going to talk about the difference and why life feels so much easier for everybody when not just the child is doing it, but they're doing it independently without you needing to be there, and you can trust them to do their best. Is it going to be perfect? No, it's not going to be as perfect as when you do it for them, of course. But again, it's about your expectation here. If you expect this child to join you and learn with you cooperatively, you will see this progress evolve. Number two, fewer unwanted communication behaviors, tantrums, meltdowns, manipulation, right? All that stuff decreases when you intervene both times. However, this time it's happening because the child is able to share their ideas with speech. And after their parents teach them the power of planning and negotiation, not just how to get what you want, but how to get how everybody gets what they want. How you are giving of yourself, everything, including your lifeblood, the food out of your mouth to your kids. So everybody, it's win, 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 win. When you teach your kids how to get win-win situations through these things, and it's not your way or the highway, you'll see better, right? You'll see fewer unwanted behaviors because the kids just replace them with the things that you teach them. Number three, jobs get done with greater care and accuracy, just like when you make kids do things. But in this case, it's because you have given the responsibility. You expect this late talker to pick up the responsibility of self-learning, right? It's incorporated in the teaching. When you're collaborative, you do your part, I do my part. Maybe at beginning you have to do a lot more because you're better at it and they're your helper. Eventually those roles change and the child becomes more independent to the point where they can teach other kids that same thing, including speech. A lot of late talkers are now facilitating speech with their younger siblings and their friends at preschool who are later talking than them, right? These kids will not only pick up and become independently and do things well, they want to do things perfectly, but they know they can't. But they will only try harder and harder and harder to get better and better and better when they accept responsibility, because that's what we do on this. You don't assume the responsibility to make anything happen in language facilitation, right? That's why the kids will pick it up. If you put it down, they will pick it up. But the problem is, in that first scenario, you never put it down. You're always in control, right? And these kids want control. They'll fight you for control. That's why they're still having tantrums in between your little sessions where you control everything, because in that case, they're trying to regain control. They don't want to be controlled by you. Number four, kids start talking naturally because facilitators constantly demonstrate how to use the target vocabulary, the words that these kids already know, in functional phrases that the late talker finds useful for their independence, right? So they start saying words. But it's not when you want them to say it. It's when they want to say it. So it doesn't happen on the fly, on cue, on whatever, like those other times. So you can feel, remember, there's a difference here. Maybe you really like hearing your kid perform. I've got parents in my program who won't stop questioning and prompting their kids because they love hearing them talk. because they didn't hear him talk for 4 or 5 years, and now every word that comes out of their mouth sounds so sweet to these parents they can't help themselves from prompting. Could that be you? Because if you are, you're holding your child back from learning how to talk naturally. Okay, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Kids start talking naturally because facilitators constantly demonstrate how to use the target vocabulary. All right, number 5, and this is the big key difference to know which level of progress trajectory you are on. Language facilitator parents, they sustain interaction in a regular way. They can because they have fun every day. They only plan things that feel easy, happy, safe, and fun. They don't plan anything that feels too hard for them or their kids. They understand that if it isn't fun, it isn't fun. And it's a waste of time if you're struggling with this, trying to make anybody do anything. You might be tempted to want to hear them perform on target or do what you want when you want, but there are ways to facilitate that. Independence, responsibility, right? And then don't you want to have your child be independent and responsible versus obedient and compliant? The actual results you want to get. Not only that, but they're flexible and intuitively guided. So you don't know exactly how these things are going to go every day. You just know during this period of time, you're going to put on your language facilitator hat and do your best. And in between, you parent and love on this kid and go to work and pay the bills and fill your car with gas and clean the house and do all the other stuff that you have to do. Because you can sustain this, and the child is developing while you are sustaining your whole life full of busy stuff. Because there you go. You can do it. And it's not impossible. Parents all over the world are doing it. It's a choice. This is a choice, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I see that there are some comments coming in. Great. So, see, reward system. I don't like it. Reward systems work wonders, but they only get you your guided progress. Works wonders for who? You might be seeing this progress. Like I said, progress A or progress B, it's up to you. If you want to be exhausted and see it break down and dip into the dips before you get up into the ups again, then you keep doing the one. You keep doing progress A. Keep doing more ABA, more control, more whatever. Eventually, your late talker is going to rebel against it and finally stop wanting to be controlled. And then you're going to have a fight on your hands. Okay? Reward systems work wonders for rewarders. They don't teach kids anything except to be compliant and obedient. And if you are all about a compliant and whatever, obedient parent, is that what you want? An obedient child versus an inquisitive, curious, Einstein level genius child who has stuff in their own mind that they want to share, but your control is holding it back, right? It's not cool.